Alright, before we move on to step 3, there's something I want to talk about in step 2 that I forgot to mention in the previous video. When you move into step 2 at the final step, do not forget to include annotations in your screenshot by pressing these plus buttons. The annotations should be obvious if you follow the directions, but just in case, let's go over it together. You're going to use your data tables and annotated screenshots to discuss these questions with your partner. The data tables can be found in step 3 here, and step 2 down here. You're going to talk with your partner about what you see in the data tables and what you see in the screenshots that's different between the healthy body and between the body with a condition. Although I don't have any screenshots in here, I can tell you for certain that when you have asthma, one of the main things you'll annotate and note is that the lungs lack as much oxygen in a body with asthma as they do in a healthy body. You're going to explain that to your partner. These are the questions you're answering when explaining. How were the healthy body results different from the results of the body with the condition? And was this what you predicted? So it's in two parts. The first part is to look at your data and see what's different about your data. What's noticeably lower or higher on the molecules? And was that what you predicted would happen? Did you think this was going to go the way it did? If you're wrong, you can admit that and talk about why you predicted what you predicted. Because the main goal here is to improve your reasoning, not necessarily be correct. In the second part, why do you think the body with a condition was different from the healthy body? Explain your understanding of this medical condition to your partner. They're having you do this for two reasons. The first is, again, to practice your reasoning, because that's a big part of the science in middle school. And the second is to make sure that your partner learns about the medical condition, because it's possible that your partner didn't read about the same condition you did. If you read about anemia and your partner read about pancreatic injury, they wouldn't necessarily know what the data would look like. So you should be able to explain it to them to practice teaching, reasoning, and improving your understanding with your partner. Once you're done with this, you're ready to move on to step 3, which we're going to talk about now. You're going to work in pairs, so with your partner, and you're going to discuss your thinking about a healthy body and the conditions, just like you did at the end of step 2, using this word relationship routine. The goal of this lesson is to make sure that you understand each of the words in the word bank, so that way you can use it in your future reasoning articles on things like quizzes and tests. So, let's follow the steps. Work with your partner to create a sentence that answers each question, using one or more of the vocabulary words. Note, work on either the asthma or anemia questions or the diabetes and pancreatic questions, but not both. So, we're going to work on asthma and anemia or diabetes and pancreatic injuries. No other mixture of the two. So, no anemia and diabetes or asthma and pancreatic injury. Every word must be used at least once, and after you've discussed, record your sentences below. So, the first thing they want you to do is just read the questions and talk about them with your partner. So, as you can see, here's asthma and anemia, here's diabetes and pancreatic injuries. If you aren't in pairs like this, don't worry about it so much. Try and talk about it together and see if you can figure it out on your own. You should have read about all of the diseases anyway, and if you haven't, you can go back to 2.3 and find those lessons in there so you can read about them together and figure it out. You're going to use each word once. This is to make sure that you understand each word in context. Oxygen is the molecule we take in through our respiratory system, which is how we breathe. Our circulatory system is our blood. It gets energy to our cells, which it gets from starch, which is turned into glucose to the digestive system. These are all words you should have heard, and all words you should be able to make sense of. If not, you can find them here in the lesson brief, where you can find the glossary to help you understand them. Alright, once you've looked at each question, and you've tried answering it with your partner in just, level 2 voice discussions, you're ready to start answering them with the words, by writing in the sentences here, here, and here, and here, or, on the right side, here, 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 and here. Remember, only one side should be filled in with you and your partner. It's acceptable for you both to have the same answers, so you can build essentially 4 sentences and type them in here together if you like, but you must both have them written down to hand in when you're done. And that's the entire part 3, student-to-student discussion. Go ahead and begin.